Seemingly overnight, Ultra Super Saiyan Goku has become a top dog in ranked PvP. If you don't have him, you're going to be a couple steps, no, that's even too little, a few miles behind everybody else in ranked PvP. With the value of KO Guard being able to keep your team alive just that extra step more, it's really inconvenient to get around, giving anybody using Super Saiyan Goku extra leverage in the battle. To the point where, because he's also the 7th anniversary Ultra, at least one of them, it's to the point where almost everybody has him. So if you're not running him, you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage, which is not what you want in any PvP scenario. But fortunately and unfortunately, depending on what side you're on, it's not just Super Saiyan Goku's KO Guard that gives him value in ranked PvP. So let's talk about this guy's come up, because he was good in the anniversary, seemingly got a lot worse, and that was very much so shown by the value of Ultra Full Power Frieza, the Ultra who dropped alongside Super Saiyan Goku, having a lot more value than him based on meta factors. So let's talk about it. So a lot of people think Ultra Super Saiyan Goku is really a KO Guard merchant, but he has a lot more value in his kit, and I think I should highlight the key factors that make him a threat in PvP, because in my tier list and a lot of others, they're holding him to a top 2, top 3 standard, where not even 1 or 2 metas ago, he was barely scraping the top 10, which does say a lot about the meta we're in and how valuable he is as an asset to other units in the meta right now. So the first thing we should definitely talk about, since he's supposedly a merchant of this, is the KO Guard. When the KO Guard activates, his unique gauge will fill up 50%, and on top of that, there will be ally health restoration plus 20% for 30 time accounts. That's not them healing, but it's just the health that they restore will be 20% more. So then going on the activation of the actual KO Guard, if he's the one taken out, he will heal 70%, but if it's another one of his allies, there's a health increase of 20% and an ally health increase of 10%. Overall, a lot of healing, but for the best outcome, you probably want Goku to be the one taken out, because he's going to get a huge health restoration of 70%. Now, since we spoke about his unique gauge a little bit, there's one very important factor about his unique gauge, and it's the fact that it activates no switching. When he presses a strike or a blast when it's full, the enemy will be hit with no switching for 3 time accounts. No switching is one of the most devious mechanics in Dragon Ball Legends ever, because there's literally nothing you can do. No sub count manipulation can affect it, you can't exactly remove it, so you just have to deal with the consequences of what's coming your way for the next 3 time accounts, which means you're susceptible to literally anything coming your way for those 3 time accounts. It's very difficult to deal with because you can't do anything. You might as well say it's impossible, because what can you do? There's other factors as well, such as healing when it's full, ally damage increase, getting ki, damage increase for himself, draw speed, etc. But it's mainly the no switching that makes all of that super devastating to deal with. Something that's a big sleeper for him is that once his gauge is actually consumed the 2nd time and onwards, he will continuously nullify endurance for the next 5 time accounts of his gauge being consumed. This is very useful considering I just spoke about the no switching, but on top of that, if they have endurance and you're hitting those strike and blast or anything that you can't get your buffs cancelled from, you can take out somebody who has endurance without having to deal with their endurance, which is very useful. And 2 more things that I think are the core factors for why this guy is super annoying in ranked PvP. The green card. I think anybody with an explosive green is very threatening on the battlefield, non-negotiable. It just gives you more access to getting a combo started. You can start from mid-range, you can start from close range. If they attack you and you vanish, there's nothing they can do, because the green card's gonna go off, and even if they vanish, they will get spawned right next to you and get blown back. Even at long range, if you do an explosive green and they're sidestep spamming, if they activate a vanish step, they basically get TP'd in front of you, how the vanish step works, and they will get hit with the explosive green. It's one of the easiest combo starters in the game, if not the easiest. And the last thing I want to talk about is not its ultimate art, it's not his main ability, but it's actually his blue card. I think it's very worthwhile to invest in his blue card, and the reason I say that is because it does potentially the most damage. The details of why it can do the most damage isn't located on the blue card, but if we go to his unique abilities, it says when ally is hit by enemy arts, unique gauge +5 and next activated special move damage +20%, and this can go up to 100%. So if your allies take 5 hits, he will have a build up of 100% special damage in addition to what he already does, which is outrageous. Also, if you take 6 hits, so that's 1 more than the special move's peak, you can build up the feint chance to 30% and potentially also feint the enemy with that blue card, which can give you another free combo off rip. So if you're using Super Saiyan Goku, I would advise you actually aim to build his blue card damage, because that's really what's going to take out one person off rip. Those buffs are cancelable, but in a lot of cases you'll be able to get that off. And let me just add that these are the things that make Super Saiyan Goku individually valuable. I haven't even spoke about how he attributes his value to the current meta, but we'll be doing that now. So we're all in agreement that Legends Limited Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is the best unit in the game, right? No disagreeers. Fortunately, we all agree. So cool, we can move on to my next points. Because he's the best unit in the game, anybody who synergizes with him literally shoots up in value. And it just so happens that Super Saiyan Goku having the KO guard is literally the best thing to attribute to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is already a revival unit, so he has his own second life. That's already overkill. But hey, what's better than having a second life? Having a third! If you run Super Saiyan Goku, the KO guard can keep Super Saiyan 2 Gohan alive one step further, and that in itself is outrageously good for any PvP battle. But let's go even a step further. Gohan is blue, and there's a couple elements that synergize extremely well with blue, two of those being yellow and the other one being purple. Now why yellow? Yellow is very good with blue because blue is more powerful than red, which is more powerful than yellow. So if you can protect yellow with blues, that makes your team synergize well, and on top of that, because Gohan's the best unit in the game and is blue, yellows can run freely because reds are basically being victimized. So nobody really wants to run a red. It's not that people aren't doing so, but it's just not exactly the freest risk thing you can do in PvP right now. The other side is purple, but that's only because purple protects blue. But because Gohan's the best unit in the game, you don't really need a purple. Gohan can protect himself. There's also not that many greens, which makes Gohan's position very, very safe. It's really just Super Gogeta that you should fear, and even then, not that much. When you're Gohan at least. Plus, with Super Saiyan Goku, that's 3 lives just like that. Now let's take it even a step further. You're fighting Gohan and Super Saiyan Goku. They have 3 lives. Already outrageous. 3 extra lives, let me say. And how could you make that more inconvenient to fight? It's time to implement no switching. I spoke about Super Saiyan Goku, and when his gauge is full, no switching can be applied. You activate that by consuming his gauge, but you could just switch out and use Gohan's blue card just like that. But not just that. Gohan and the team also has no switching. When your combo ends when you're fighting him, he's going to leave you stuck on the battlefield for free time accounts. So these two together, the synergy is just going up, fam. And that's already devastating, right? But surely we're done. Nuh-uh. We've got 2 units that synergize easily the best right now. Goku's also a melee type. So before you mention someone like UI Goku, he's a range type, which throws off the synergy with Gohan for the strike build you should optimally be running. The only way to make this even more difficult to deal with would be how easily they can start a combo. They both have explosive greens. Dangerous. And even if Gohan isn't pulse revived to use his explosive green, his main ability spawns 1 of every card. So you can spawn 1 of every card, which means you would get a green card and then switch out to Super Saiyan Goku, which can start a combo very easily. But we can even take it a step further. Running these 2 guys together, if Gohan is last stand, because the synergy is so good, he can just remove your vanish with his main ability. There is too much going on here that you can't exactly deal with unless you're also using that team. And I think because of that, this duo here, and then you just add a dangerous third, Super Gogeta, Ultra UI, anybody you want, to be honest, the team becomes one of the best in the game. Outrageous. Now, what kind of video would this be if I didn't tell you how to deal with it? There's honestly a very easy solution to deal with the KO guard, Gohan. I got you guys. I know you guys have been waiting for this. This is very, very valuable, so listen up. You just don't play PvP. You thought I had a solution? It's over, bro. Run the team or you're cooked. You gotta use that team, Gohan and Super Saiyan Goku. There's no way out of this one. They gotta drop something new and help us, because I ain't got no answers for you, buddy. Just don't play PvP. That's all you can do, bro. That's actually all you can do. I ain't got the answers for you. That's it. That's it. That's the only option you got. It's either you run the team yourself so that you can fight head to head. Otherwise, just don't play PvP. Having Gohan is gonna take you very far, but if you don't skill diff the person, they're gonna be coming back and coming back based on the survivability factor of the team and the ease of starting the combo. But if you also had Super Saiyan Goku, it would take you much further. Let's say just having Gohan puts you 10 steps ahead of the game. If you stack Super Saiyan Goku on top of that, that's an extra 50 steps ahead of the game. And that's how big the gap is, because you can keep both of them alive while utilizing all these minute factors that become exponentially great when you stack them on top of each other. They're actually actually isn't a solution. You could try run units that counter the elements and things like that, but in most cases, if you are the same skill as the other person you're fighting, or they're even a slight bit better than you, you will possibly lose. Even if they're worse than you, they might just team diff you. It's going to be in most cases an uphill battle, and that's the sad part if you don't have these units. So the only thing I can suggest is hopefully the Ultra in part 3 actually changes a lot for ranked PvP. I think if they drop a new unit that can just somehow nullify endurance, revival, and second life mechanics like KO guard, I think that will do a lot for the game in a positive way. Similar to what they did last year with Ultra Beast Gohan dropping the active gauge and the special beam cannon, he can break through all endurance mechanics. But right now we're in a position where there's literally revival units left and right, endurance units left and right, and the KO guard floating. So there kind of needs to be a reset. So the best I can offer you is the hope that in a week's time that there is a new unit that stops these mechanics from doing what they do. The closest thing we have in the game is the Hakai Beerus. If he hits that blue card, he can just nullify everything. But that guy is so buns, it actually hurts. So yeah, how to counter? Use the team or don't play, unfortunately. If you are one of the people that felt that Super Saiyan Goku would age a lot better than Final Form Frieza, hats off to you. The anniversary with how powerful Full Power Frieza was made it seem as if Super Saiyan Goku wouldn't have value in the end. But for sure, that's been proven wrong, given the outcome we're in right now. It just goes to show that literally anything can happen based on future releases, but not just that, perspectives can differ, and there isn't always one sure line that is correct at any given point. This game's quite unpredictable, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're underscoring to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.